I'm standing here in All Saints Church, Wokingham. It's the historic parish church for this area of the town, where I am honoured and pleased to be its rector. I enjoy the opportunity to lead or to take part in many of the hundreds of worship services, special occasions and events which happen in this building every year. All Saints Church is not only the most historic structure, it's also one of the largest public buildings in the town of Wokingham. Visitors to the church often comment to me on how much more spacious and lofty the church is when you step inside compared to how it seems as you drive past on the road outside. The building is far more than an historic monument. It is an actively used hub in this community for worship and prayer and other events such as concerts and school gatherings. It is, of course, and always will be, a holy place, a place of Christian worship. It's also an open space for groups and individuals to come for their own prayer or quiet contemplation. Together with its surrounding churchyard, the building is genuinely a public space which anyone can access almost 365 days a year. Groups of different sizes and with different purposes and needs come together in this building on a regular basis. Events and activities range from small gatherings, such as for the blessing of a child or a marriage, for confidential prayer and listening in an intimate space like this chapel, to large-scale gatherings at Christmas or on Remembrance Sunday, when there may be more than 350 people in the building, and all sizes and types of groups in between. Recently, we did a count and were surprised to discover that the total number of attendances at services and events each year is over 25,000 on more than 400 occasions. Sometimes people ask me, when was this church built? And I say, well, it was started over 800 years ago, but it's not finished yet. This church building, like many others, has been built and rebuilt over the centuries, responding to the ups and downs of social life in the community and the changing needs of the people who live here. Although the main structure of the building is over 500 years old, many of the additional parts, like this chapel and much of what you see inside the building, such as the pews, the stained glass windows, the carvings behind the high altar, or the pulpit and the flooring, these are only about 150 years old. In the case of the pews, they are less than 100 years old. Church buildings have constantly been adapted to meet the needs of their current community. So we have launched the Community Church 2020 project to revitalise this church building for the future of the growing community here in Wokingham. We want it to be a church building for the whole community, aiming to be a building which is even more open, more available, and more inspiring than it already is. Working with architects Acanthus Clues of Banbury, we have developed a plan for changes inside the building and a new extension, which we believe will achieve these aims. This plan will meet crucial needs that we have identified if we are to be a truly open, available and inspiring church building for the currently growing and future community in Wokingham. As well as continuing to reflect a precious heritage, we want this building to enjoy a vibrant future as a church building for the whole community. Let me outline briefly the key needs our plan aims to meet. The building needs to be a flexible space to allow for different types of worship and community events. So, for example, we plan a new floor and seating solution to allow for different configurations and more space for moving around. There will be additional areas for quiet contemplation or smaller group meetings. Secondly, we aim to make the building more welcoming. It needs the right facilities for a building open to the public 7 days a week. There will be a large welcome area, allowing for cafe tables, bookcases, and displays. We plan facilities to offer refreshments. A new room linked at the northeast corner is proposed to provide an additional separate but connected space so maximising options for the use of the building. And of course, we plan internal toilets, removing the awkward need for parents with young children or groups of school children to walk outdoors across the churchyard, whatever the weather, to access the facilities in the cornerstone next door. There's also a key need for the building to be made more accessible. We plan a new level entrance with automatic doors on the side facing the cornerstone. There will be good lighting and up-to-date audio-visual equipment allowing for modern media presentations, and Wi-Fi, of course, throughout the building. Working with our experienced architects at Canthus Clues, the advisory experts of the Diocese of Oxford, and the historic conservation bodies, our plan will also ensure that the church building retains its beautiful and historic character, and above all, its purpose as a holy place of worship, inspiring prayer and reflection. A church building which is flexible, welcoming, and accessible to all will be an enduring gift to the future of community life in our town. Please do explore the information on this website to find out more about our plan and how you might be able to make it happen.